bro, knowing the right people who believe in you, people who are above you saying, hey, this person deserves an opportunity. You can work as hard as you want, be as good as you want, but if somebody, don't get me wrong, hard work matters. But if somebody don't give you that opportunity, we don't give a damn how good you're at your job. I say you're not getting hired here.
I always say these days I pray harder for the grace of God, because I took an Uber not too long ago, and there was this like guy, this Mexican driver, and he was like, yeah, I came to the States, I came with my cousin. He was like, for like maybe 3 to 6 months, he was working from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 12 of the O2 podcast. Woo-hoo! How y'all niggas feeling, man?
Why the fuck did you just jump in like that?
Like,
That's
bro,
how I'm
like,
feeling.
bro.
That's
like,
how I'm feeling.
Exactly.
You were just telling the story,
And
then all I saw was 3, 2, 1. What?
Nothing.
Because the story was to get y'all a little amped up for the thing. So y'all just supposed to, so you just walk into the recording with energy. You feel me?
No, I don't.
I really don't. I really don't. like,
Yeah.
no warning, nothing. Just okay, we're here now. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what?
Y'all gotta give me some grace for real. But no, it was. I can't even finish the story for real now. But no, nothing on that story. But to kick off today's episode, I had a very interesting conversation in the beginning of the week, and this whole week it's pondering me. So I was like, I'm going to bring it to the podcast, and I'm going to bring it up to the three wise men, because this nigga's not here, and we just gonna go back and forth on it, right? So I got in I wouldn't say argument. It was more of like a debacle. I'll say debacle with an old friend of mine, right? And she brought up, and she was, what's funny?
No. Proceed.
What's funny? What's funny?
I was gonna.
nothing.
You want to stop and laugh?
Nothing.
I was gonna be like. You see, I told you proceed. You wanted to hear it. You want that now. You happy?
Hold up. Here.
The thing is, though, pause, Quattro. This ain't you're not in the wrong. The thing is, Quasi will bring out the most random names out left, and it's like, who the fuck is talking about that person?
No, but okay,
talking about that person.
Bro, I thought it in my head. I wanted to keep it in my head.
He
had to go out his way to ask for it.
Else. Bro, you bring up random names out the most random time, and it's like, bro, who's talking about that person? Nobody is. Like, you're not in the wrong Quattro. No, like, he wasn't in the world. I
didn't even get to the part where I gotta bring the philosophical part in it. But
bro, you said you got in an argument, and I was I recall a time
with the woman. We were go back and forth and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't, got into a little philosophical. And the conversation came, and she had asked me, and she was like, oh, have you ever felt that, like, in your relationships, like, the woman has liked you for who you are? And I was like, what that mean? And then she was explaining, she was like, usually for women, it's like, mind you, I had this argument with somebody else, and I brought it up again to, like, somebody else. So this was, like, the second person who heard about it. But it was, like, to women, when you're usually going for a guy, most of the time, you don't really go for who he is now. Like, it's usually based on, like, a little bit percentage of, like, who he's going to be, like, where he stands. Like, it's other factors that are not necessarily all present in the moment. So then she was like, then how would you know if somebody really likes you because of who you are, or because of what you're going to accomplish and do that? I.e., for example, if you... perfect example. About 5 to 10 years ago, if a woman in middle school was to, like, spawn in and was picking between Shakir, perfect example.
Are we saying names? It's crazy.
No, I like to
diabolical, especially after what he did.
Bro, y'all keep the edit gonna take care of us. Don't trip, don't trip. So you have Shakir, and then you have those two people back in 7th grade. Who would you bank a woman is going for?
We know the answer already. I don't
Okay,
know why.
Cool.
Just got
Option 2.
like.
Okay, right. But it's like, if you think about it long term, who would it make sense to go for?
Shakir.
So the question then became, if a woman was to pick Shakir at the time of the 6th grade, does she like him for him, or does she like him for who he's going to become?
Like them for him.
I think she likes him for him.
You just said the woman wouldn't pick him in 6th grade.
No, like, but you said if she was to pick him.
Honestly, this whole topic, I would say it depends.
I think this whole topic is dumb.
That's why I'm saying it depends.
No. But because here's my thing. I feel like I don't know what the whole concept of like going out and fishing for the type of person that you thing. Yes, future. What's it called? Future. What this person can be. So it should be something that you take into consideration. But that shouldn't be everything you bank on it. Like you could. It's like soccer. You know, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Perfect example. You see the man ball, you're like, this man got great potential. You cuff him, tear on the ACL. He's still balling, but not at the level that's expected. It's like, you know what I mean? You should take a person for what they are right now. Always looking at making this concept of what they can be. Yes, that's something to consider. You shouldn't bank everything on that. Because it's like at the same time, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you could be like let's use sports as a concept. Like you could start off garbage, and it's like, what the hell? Because we've seen some people where it's like, oh man, now he's really good within the span of a year, 2 years, 3 years. They put in the energy to work, get better. So it's like this rhetoric all the time. I'm like, bro, take a person for who they are now, not who they're gonna be in the future. You know what I mean? Because it's like you could go from a drug dealer to a millionaire. You could go from a millionaire today to brokey. So it's like take a person for who they are now. But it's like all of those outside things like are superficial. In a sense, I said, don't get me wrong, I am superficial. But there's the base should be morals, who this individual is as a person. And then we can go into superficial stuff. That should be the base right there. But who you are, for who you can be in the future, I'm like, I wouldn't pay attention to that. Who you are right now. That's what I'm thinking about, to be honest with you. I'm not a coach. I'm not scouting for potential.
How you feeling?
You're not scouting for potential.
Like, that's what we're going to address him. He
It's
said
part of it. It's part of it, but it's yes, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
I thought you
Part
just
of it.
not scouting for potential. I'm like,
it's
how
part
are
of
you
it. It's
scouting
not
then?
all of it, yeah.
No, but I say it depends because I mean the future, like he said, the future's not predetermined. It's not. Yeah, you meet the person now, you get to know their mindset, you get to know their vision, you get to know how they think and deliberate things, and then you're like, yo, I like you for who you are because I could see where you could potentially be, but I don't know where you're gonna end up.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where you're gonna end up. Like, you're here now. Why wouldn't I like you for who you are now? If I'm basing my attraction to you on who you could be in the future, what? That's an investment, and then that would literally down the line, if they don't become who you think they could be, you're going to be disappointed and will lead to problems in the relationship.
And that's like what, 6? There's so many people that you've heard about. They've gone like 6 years, and it's like they'll be like, this person cheated on them. There's this, they did that, but they'd be like, he could be so good. He could. Is he that right now? Is he that right now? I'm like, listen. I was like, I don't want a player. Oh, they could be this in the future. No, are they that right now? I'm like, yes, potential matters, but you gotta show me not some sign. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, it's all based on who you are now. Let's keep it a buck.
That's the base.
It's all based on who you are now.
Okay.
Yes,
that's where the potential could be. Who you are now and how you're implementing yourself to basically show like, oh, okay, I'm going towards this path, right? Like, you could be a really shitty person right now. But right now, if you're like, let's say you could be a serial cheater, right now. But let's say, oh, you stop dating people because you realize you're a serial cheater.
Yeah.
Now you're giving people the vision like, oh, this person is actually taking a step back, trying to realize what they are doing, and probably figure, like, let's say you go to therapy. You're trying to figure yourself out. You can still be a shitty person in the future. But right now, you're trying to figure yourself out. That would make sense. But I'm not going to date you while you're being a serial cheater right now. Like, oh, I hope in the future you stop.
Yeah, I'm not that lonely.
Like you buying a pet tiger, be like, I hope in the future you don't eat me when you're hungry.
Like, bro,
Really?
Like, bro, potential. I'm like, bro. No.
Basing
Based
your
on
whole relationship
right
on someone's potential future outcome
Based
of
off what they are
positivity
right now. Yeah.
will I feel like in the long run, when everything is not developing as you think it should be, you're gonna have some sort of resentment, right? And all that negativity is gonna just create clashes in the relationship, and you're just not gonna go anywhere. Just enjoy life, like your partner for now, right? And grow with them. If you see them not going where they say they want to be, help them go there.
Yeah. And also,
Like you got to find a balance. You can't just be like, yo, I'm with you, and in the future I hope you become a billionaire. Because if
Yeah.
you don't become a billionaire, you're still living in the middle of nowhere, making, let's say, above minimum wage, but you're not balling. Then you're like, damn, person's broke. Then you see someone else, you're like, damn, how they got it like that? Look at you. Now you just think about leaving your partner. You see? Just enjoy
that
life.
growth part is important too, because it's like, one thing I realized as I'm getting older is like I'm not the same person that I was last year, or the year before that, or the year before that. In a sense, you know what I mean. There's still a lot of parts of me that are still the same, but there's some essential parts to me that I'm not the same. So it's like growing in the same direction is important, and I think knowing that in the sense of having somebody who to grow it is like telling yourself the truth of what you truly want from somebody, not just also making a fantasy like if a person if your girlfriend is not a shitty person who don't really care about you, but you lying to yourself like, oh, she could maybe one day. No, like tell yourself the truth. Like, what is it? You're like, this bitch don't care about me. Like, you know what I mean? So I call a spade, really. If you learn how to be honest with yourself, truthfully, in a sense, you can. Well, that's very important too with the growth part, because people change. Like,
I feel like that sets you free.
But yeah,
Telling yourself the truth.
tell yourself the truth.
Sets you
bro.
free.
Like, real talk. Like, you know
Bro.
what I mean?
If you can't tell yourself the truth, how can I trust you to tell me the truth?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. You lie to yourself and me.
I guess the way I was thinking about it was that like when you meet someone in the present day and you're like gonna do, like who they are now usually dictates where they're about to go. Like usually a person's actions now. I don't think it's the necessarily determining factor, but it usually gives you a good idea about where in the ballpark you could expect them to land up. So it's like if you were to date someone because you're like, okay, in about X amount of like this is where the person is gonna be, and this is where I see them being there, and this is what I want to align myself with. Could we say that's like an okay thing to say?
I mean, I feel like honestly, this whole discourse like is kind of
That's
irrelevant. No, like give me
why.
like no. In a way of like we're so busy. That's like another sports analogy. That's like saying, I'm gonna go into a soccer game. I'm gonna step over this, do that. You're trying to plan out everything that's gonna happen when life is so unpredictable. You know what I mean? It's trying too hard to guess everything that's going to go on. You're not going to enjoy it while in the moment. Take life as it comes to you. Like, as you're going through your relationship, and then this person does this. Like, nobody plans on getting cheated on. The 3 or 4 years, like, and then it happens. But nobody gets in a relationship thinking, I got with a cheater. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So it's like you can't plan that like 3 years ahead. And then yes, it's like, oh, it didn't work out. But I think like the reason why like these discourses are happening so much are like people are afraid of getting in relationships and it not working. Bro, that's a part of life. Shit is not gonna always work out the way that you want to, and you gotta learn how to take that to the chin. Like, honestly, that's the best advice, bro. Like, everybody's always trying to like do stuff without making no mistakes, without messing up, bro. The more you try to do that, the more you're not gonna succeed. You trying to avoid failure, and this isn't anything, not even just relationship. Trying to plan out everything, the more you're gonna fuck it up. So it's like, bro, take it all, do the best as you can, and then like, let's say you go 10 years and you realize this person's a cheater. It's okay to start over. Like, you know what I mean? It happens. It's like, bro, It's okay to start over. It's okay to, what's it called, that you realize this person is not the person that you think it is. It's okay to get up and be like, it's gonna be hard as fuck. You know what I mean? It's okay to get up and be like, oh, we're gonna do it all over again. But always trying to like predict the future with all the events and stuff like that. In a sense, you just end up taking the joy out of the situation. To be honest with you, that's why sometimes certain discourses, I'm like, bro, honestly, it really make no sense because it's like you're trying to predict the outcome all the time. Just just embark on this journey and take it with the challenges and the good and the bad that comes with it, and then go ahead and live life like that. But if you're trying to just think ahead too much about what's gonna happen, you just end up not doing anything and not even enjoying it. To be honest with you,
I heard, like, I hear you. I heard Quadro stand differently though. Like the sports analogy wise, I heard it more like, let's say, the team you support has been on a winning track, right? On a win, like, was it Ajax versus PSG back then when PSG was winning and then Ajax nobody heard of them? Well, Kylian Mbappe was with that French team, the small French team. Like they were
Monaco.
Yeah. So they were playing PSG, but no one thought they were gonna win, and then they won. That's how I'm seeing. Like PSG's a big team. They're always winning, they're balling. You know, you see them and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sports bet. If Shakir was here, he would have hated this. I'm gonna put my money on them for sports betting because they're gonna win. They've been winning all along, right? It's like the Real Madrid game that just happened. Everybody they were flaunting. Everybody would think, oh, Real Madrid is a big team. They probably, but some people, sports bettors,
bro,
they'll be like,
sidetrack. These new niggas is not my bro. I don't know what's up with these guys, bro. They not them real demons. Back then, Cristiano Ronaldo, you got Ramos, Pepe, you got Bale, Benzema. They wasn't on the internet talking. They said, listen. We already know what was up, bro. Cristiano Ronaldo come down, touchdown. He dropping 2 goals on a nigga ass, man. And these new niggas talk too much. They talk too much, bro. Dude, I'm on Twitter. Remontada. I'm like, y'all acting like women. I'm like, bro.
Cut that out.
I'm like, bro. Guys, like, I'm like, back then, I'm like, bro. Back then, 2016, 2017. I'm like, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema, Toni Kroos, they were real demons. They go out there, they spank you. We down by 3, we gonna drop 5 on you the next game. These boys, remontada. Bro, y'all moving like IG models.
I will say it's taken the fun out of the only person who could, I think, talks a lot but could back it up has to be Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, I mean, Lamine Yamal is different. He's a kid, bro. like, bro, 16, 17. If I got that much clout and I could ball like that, I would never shut up. like, real talk, to be honest with you. So when I see Lamine Yamal talk, I'd be like, man, brother, go ahead. Yeah, if you could back it up, bro, talk all you want. Nobody can tell you anything, you know?
But circulating back to what
back,
you... Oh, yeah, my fault.
To go back, it's just like, yeah, the team has been on the winning streak. So you're like, you see them, you're like, oh, I'll put my money on them. Or you see a team on a losing streak, you're like, oh, they're going to lose their next game. You know? Like, you try to predict. You don't know exactly what's happening, but you try to be like, you try to pick and put your bets down. But it goes back to not knowing what's happening. Like, just enjoy the game. You can put your bets down, but it could go either way. The losing streak could peak, or the winning streak could lose. You know? Like, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
just
you know what's going to happen. Just enjoy the game, man.
Find out the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Right? And go with one. Go with whatever. You know? Enjoy life.
Like when people be on some like this is another thing, like when I be thinking about it, people be like, red flags. I'm like, bro, everybody got red flags. It's just picking and choosing what you're gonna deal with. That's it. It's literally just picking and choosing. I'm gonna deal with this. This I am not tolerating. Like you see people. Do you see people who can tolerate like certain things like this? You see other people like what's one thing other people cheating? It's crazy. There are people who actually work through cheating. I think you're a loser if you work through cheating, and I don't care how many kids you guys got together. Like genuinely, bro. Like there are people who work through cheating. I could be a millionaire, have 4 kids with my wife. My wife cheats on me, and she want to take me to court and take half. I'll say take half. I don't want nothing to do. I'm not even gonna fight you for it. Go. But there's other
No,
people
that's
who
a fact.
but there's other people who are like, you know what, we could work through cheating. We could work this together. It's psycho. That is insane. I personally would kill myself before I'd rather work through cheating. That I and then the thing is too, there are people in public who defend this, and then like they do it out loud, and I said, what?
They're all over Twitter.
That's what I got.
All over Twitter is
Twitter is like the place you can find people for anything, bro.
And Facebook.
I haven't been on that in a minute, but Facebook was the OG.
Yeah.
Facebook was the OG with that shit.
What else is another thing? There's another thing like, oh, why did it just run out of my mind? Ooh, I said, bro, I got cooked when I said I would never date a single mother. Unless I'm 35 and up. I would never date a single mother.
and I'm gonna back you real quick. I'm gonna back you, but I think it's dependent on where we are in life. Hear me out. I'm gonna yeah. It's like right now. Think about it. We're in low mid-20s, right? I don't have a kid to bring to the table. I'm not financially good enough to. So I'm barely hanging on by the thread. I don't have it in me to take you and your child, right? On top of that, I'm not ready to go beef with another man over over custody of your child. No, and hear me out. No disrespect to single mothers. My mom is a single mother. Cool. We gonna keep it at that.
You're correct. Just say what you want to say, bro.
No. I would never date a single mother, and that's no disrespect to them. Just personally, I don't have the facilities. I don't have the means to do that. And my biggest reason of all, I didn't bring a kid to the table. I'm not taking something off the table that I didn't bring onto the table. Me personally.
No, yeah, like, bro, I'm like, bro, I'm under 25. I got nothing to offer you. Even if you have a kid at 20, I got nothing to offer you. Real talk, like, this is me. This is not you. This is me. Like, I got nothing to offer you. And I remember I got cooked for this. I'm like, what? I said, listen, I know my facilities. That's like getting on the court thinking you could beat Shaq in a one-on-one. You're gonna lose.
I got it.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
I got it.
You're gonna lose. You know what I mean? Bro, I was like, listen, unless I'm like 35 and up, one, I got a couple more stipulations. Two, man got the husband, baby daddy gotta be dead or sick or he's never coming out of prison. I'm sorry. I will not beef with another man about his kid. Like, if the woman and the kid are in my crib, this is my house. I'm the man of this crib. This shit goes how I say it goes. So if a kid gets up and disrespect me, and then like we discipline him in a certain way, like I don't believe in hitting kids. But then again, at the same time, like if a dad come like, yo, don't do this to my kid, I'm not gonna argue with him. That's his kid at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's like, and also number two is like one. The mom and the baby daddy, they got a bond together that they're never gonna break. A kid, so you always gonna see the dude whether y'all have a good cool relationship or not. Like me, I could be okay with, yo, you had a past, you had a kid, I could accept that. This is me over the age of 35, by the way. This would never be me in the next 10 years. And like, let's say if I don't get married from now to the age of 35, that would never happen. Me doing this single mother. But I'm like, bro, listen, if I tell my stepkid how to do something and they don't something, they get their pops involved, not argue with him. That's your kid. You know what I mean? I'm like, so me personally, I'm not gonna deal with another man telling me how stuff is gonna go in my own crib. Personally, just not something I'm willing to do. To be honest with you, but
Quasi?
No. I'll leave it at that. No.
Bro, no.
I'm not gonna explain myself. I don't want to. That's not my type.
You know what?
He's like, wow, long explanation. He's like,
Dude, that's very fair.
He's like, no. I'm like, single mothers deserve love. It's just not.
Yeah, like
They do. They do. I just ain't got it in me for that.
No, I don't. I really
And we don't blame you. Now, the next question, because yesterday's conversation was hefty, but the next question we had gotten to was, I got asked and it was like, if you were, and this is going to get a little philosophical, so stay with me, but what's funny, bro?
I'm sorry. Just go. Just go. I need to start turning off my camera. Go.
So he was like, if you were to die today, like point blank, period, would you be proud of the life you've lived? Like, would you be able to rest being like, you know what, fair?
Yeah.
You know, I've thought about that so many times, and the conclusion I came down to is I'll be dead. It's okay.
This nigga- What are we supposed to do with that, Quasi?
No, like, I'm
This
dead.
was philosophical. I thought.
Listen. No. Okay, I don't know.
No,
It's
you're not
just-
wrong, Quasi. You're
if
not
I
wrong.
die today,
You're
I'm
dead.
dead.
I'm dead.
Whatever I did, whatever I've done, whatever I wanted to do,
it doesn't
it
matter.
don't matter. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm dead.
everything stops.
I'm dead.
My emotion stops.
I'm dead.
But let's get a bit intricate. Would I be proud? Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal was to graduate, get into the industry I wanted to,
Yeah.
get into the position I wanted to,
Talk to
move into a hot place.
Oh.
I literally hit my
Talk to
goals.
him.
Now there are new goals that I have to hit, that I want to hit, right? So I've achieved the first set.
Talk to
So if I die today, I die. I did what I did, and I've done what I've done.
Yeah.
If we got any quarrels, I'm dead. You can't. I'm dead. Like,
You mad
it
at
is
me
what
last
it is,
time?
you know?
Yeah.
But would I be at peace with me dying? Yeah. Now, I'm not going to go off myself, but I'll be at peace, like, you know, bro. It's like sometimes I'm just like, yo, if I leave today, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't fight it. You're gone.
Yeah.
What do we say, Nebra?
Same thing. Like, I would be happy about the life I live. I've done everything.
I thought you were about to say you'd be happy about dying. I was like, bro,
like,
I'm just a very imaginative person, you know.
your brain is like a carnival. It's like a carnival. You don't know much about it, Papa. It's like a carnival, and then randomly a monkey just runs right to a river.
No, quite literally.
Like, okay, I mean, yeah, same answer, bro. Like, I'm living the life that I've always wanted. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like if God gets up and be like, "Your time is up, come," I'll be like, "All right, bro." Like,
Yeah, take
So-
me, like.
no, sweet.
Like-
to be honest with you.
Like, I agree, but like, to play devil's advocate, what did she like? The person I was having the debate with was like, okay, you can say you've achieved everything that you wanted to achieve, X, Y, and Z, whatever. Is
say
it?
that.
Do you? Or you said you've achieved what you set out to achieve thus far.
The
Thus
first
far.
goal,
The
yes.
first goal, yeah. But it's like, no, I feel like something that's very different with our mindset now as opposed to when we were like in middle school and stuff is that we believe that we had a cap. Like, I think as recently as we've grown up is when we've realized our potential is maybe not you, Ibra, or like oh, maybe it's just me, but I always like, okay, I'll just say it's just for me. Up until recently, I just thought my potential had a cap. Like, I just thought I was supposed to, when I came to the United States at my age, I was supposed to go to school. I go to school. I do something in healthcare. How that comes about, whether that's supposed to be, I do something in healthcare. I finish it, and I finish it. Do it. That was my cap. As I'm like growing up, and I realized different avenues. Like, it's like whatever avenue you go to, how well you do is entirely up to you. Like, your potential is like limitless. I know that now. So saying that if I was to die today, knowing that I didn't kind of hit that untapped potential, I feel like would kind of dawn on me.
But, like, to play devil's advocate on your devil's advocate, you just said your potential is limitless.
Yeah.
You're never really going to truly hit the pinnacle of your potential. So, if you're going by that mindset, wouldn't you always kind of feel like you're missing out on something?
No, it's
There's more
limitless.
to achieve.
But it's like I didn't get the most I could get. This is an example of, like, for example, if I put you in a room with $1 million and you came out with $30.
I would be mad. I feel like I'll burn down the house.
But that's what I'm saying is that knowing that you haven't reached your full potential, like knowing that you haven't like accomplished anything, like I haven't had a kid yet. I haven't gotten married yet. We haven't went to Shakira's Bengali wedding and put on that outfit and dance yet. Like, I feel like there's so much more that I'm looking forward to that if I was to get off today, like I wouldn't like like I would have no choice but to be okay with it. But a little bit of me is gonna be like, damn, like I wish I would have got here. But again, you're right, I do have no say. But just a little part of me is just like, damn, I wish I would have got there.
I believe I was destined for
I'll be
greatness
there. I'll be all right.
from the age of 6, brother. I ain't never believed I had a cap. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying? Listen,
I've always
I've always believed I was meant to be a superstar, a rock star. Nigga.
I've always been pivoting.
Yeah, I've always believed.
I've always been pivoting. Like I literally not go with the flow. I go with whatever point I reach. So whatever point I reach and I see the options, I go with wherever. You know, like I came here. I was going to school. I was like, oh, I'm playing soccer. You know, I realized that shit wasn't going very far. So I pivoted. And then I pivoted. Like, you know, like I just change to the tune of life.
I've
It is
always
what it
believed
is,
I
you
was
know?
destined for greatness, man. No matter how down
Oh, yeah.
I am right now. I could be at the lowest low of my life. I know, oh, give me a couple months. Give me a couple years. This is just momentarily. I can be down for 10 years. I would so tell you, brother, I'm destined for greatness. I'm going to put in the work. It ain't just about thinking it up here. It's about doing it out there, too. But one way or another, brother, I'm destined for greatness. Like,
Onwards
And
and upwards, buddy.
He's had this at the age of 6. He's blessed. I think when I think this was like junior year in high school was when I realized, oh, like whatever you want to do, you can just be good at it. It's just up to you and the work you want to put in. If you believe in
I
it,
realized it. I realized mine when I didn't die. I almost got hit by a car.
it was got hit by a car.
Oh yeah, back in elementary school.
I got hit by a car twice.
No, but mine was like a speeding car. Like I was literally you know when they're doing the constructions, the concrete barricade thing. I was running late for school, so I wanted to hop over that shit. The moment I touched down, that shit went. I was like, damn.
Okay, so he's not difficult. Give you
I was
a
like,
taste-
shit.
give you a taste
That's
of
when
that.
I realized if I die, I just die.
Wait. You said something about success. I seen Anthony Mackie said something about that, and they was cooking him. He was like, you know, we're lying to our kids in the sense of what success
I saw that
is.
interview.
I seen that, bro, folks was. I'm like, he not wrong. I was like, partially he not wrong. He was like, if you're not picked for something, you're not going nowhere. And I was like, he is right when it comes to it in a certain extent. He was saying how he said, listen, he was like, you got a coach. He said, you good, but he's like, you got other people who are way better than you. But this coach tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, get in. If you don't get that tap on your shoulder, you're not going nowhere. And then he is right, because it's like, bro, think about it. When we're like growing up in Africa, because this is a lot of kids is like, you know, the goal is grow up to be a soccer player, We met some ballers. We've seen some people who can ball. They're DoorDash drivers now. like you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I've met some people who can ball, and I'm like, how the hell are you not pro? Like, you know what I
That's
mean?
about getting picked.
Yeah, and then you go to college, you see some of these boys playing, and you're like, doo doo. You're like your butt.
I will always say
How
this.
did you get here?
I will always say
You know
this,
what I mean?
that 161 crew, I believe if they really locked in and was like, we need to get something done, at least 7 of them, 7 to like 20 could have went pro. Anywhere in between that could have went pro.
But bro, that's why I was like. But the thing is, yeah, he's right. Like, cause now as I'm realizing it and getting more and more into it, it's like, bro, knowing the right people who believe in you, people who are above you, saying, hey, this person deserves an opportunity, also plays a part in it. You can work as hard as you want, be as good as you want, but if somebody, don't get me wrong, hard work matters. But if somebody don't give you that opportunity to, like, you know, if somebody don't hire you for a job, we don't give a damn how good you're at your job. I said you're not getting hired here. You know
That's
what I
why.
mean?
That's why I always say these days. I think it was you that said it. That said these days I pray harder for the grace of God, because I see some of the most hard-working people.
I swear to God.
I took a Uber not too long ago, and there was this like guy, this Mexican driver, and he was like, "Yeah, I came to the States. I came with my cousin." He was like, for like maybe 3 to 6 months, he was working from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Exactly.
8. I don't think you went up peeping. And if somebody called me for a shift at my growth age from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m., I'm not going.
No, and the thing is like, you know, so you realize that there are people out there in the world who have 3 to 4 jobs. 3. Like, don't get me wrong, I work hard, but I know people who work 4 times harder than me and haven't done half the stuff I've done. And this ain't no cocky stuff. It's just like sometimes you're in God's grace. You're like, sometimes you are in God's grace. God said yes. That's what
Yes.
happening to you. But I've seen some people who work so hard and like, damn, you're not going nowhere, brother. You just running in place. like, it's sad. It's sad, but like it is what it is. That's what it is. Like, brother, you just really running in place, and it's like I'm not doing that much, and look how much further I'm getting to. Now, that's not me saying hard work don't matter because it does, but it's just success is weird. Nobody really have a true definition of what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think recently, I don't know if you've seen it, but Reggie, Lil Rodney, with the fat butt, they had like a discourse about him on Twitter, and they was like, "Oh, he just got lucky. Casanat just made him up and coming." And people in the comment was like, "Lil Reggie been doing this. Lil Reggie been out here."
Yeah.
And I later found out he's been making content for like 7 years.
Yeah, he's been out for a while. Like you never seen this original video, the one with the thing. He was like, "You can't sit here." He was like, "Oh, why can't I sit here?" Because I said you can't sit here.
Yo, I know nothing about him, and I was like, I did not know he's been doing this for 7 years, and he just now popped off. So it's like I'm just like usually sometimes like it doesn't matter how hard you work, that's gonna be. It is what it is.
Like my thing is that continue working, be consistent, keep showing up. But a lot of the concept of it's hard work and hard work only, and that you need to be a lone wolf, that you need to do it all by yourself. I'm like, it's not hard work and hard work alone. Networking matters, going out there, meeting people, the right people above you, having mentors, people to teach you, keep learning, keep growing, being consistent, being showing. There's more to just you working out. That's like a soccer player who he does all his drills, workout and stuff like that, but he don't go to no ID camps. He don't got no coaches to give him the opportunities. He don't got other coaches who's around his ears telling him in the right places, right directions, right schools in a sense. That's like, he don't email coaches, nothing. You just good and nobody knows about it. It's like, when a tree falls in a forest, nobody hears it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have a little story for. That's one thing I realized. I got a story for everything. I was in a conversation yesterday. For every point, I had a story about. Not all stories need to get told. What story came up? Oh my god! Did I ever tell you guys about the time I almost got beat in the yard? You guys know the story, right?
No.
You know the story.
I know when a girl
Almost got beat in the yard.
No, like she. All right. So I'm gonna start saying it, and you guys gonna figure it out. But it was, I think, my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, with a girl. Oh yeah. I thought you meant like a backyard of a house or something.
Okay, so it's been what 5-6 years. Now I'm ready to tell you guys the whole side, what really happened in the bulk of the story, right? So I'll wait for him to come back. What portions do you guys know about it?
That she smacked you in the middle of the thing or tried to get you jumped or something?
No.
There was.
I think you need to just retell this whole
You were
story.
dating her, and then you saw another girl, and you guys broke. She cheated on you or something for weed.
He cheated on her.
No, the weed. She went to suck a nigga's dick for weed. And then they broke up, and then he saw another shorty, and then he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then while he was trying to get to the other shorty because Diddy was putting him on or something, that girl that sucked dick for weed came along, and then he was leading her on, so she thought they were back together. And then, they were talking one day while Quadro was with Sunshine or something. And yeah, it was a trifecta. And then basically, Sunshine was fucking up his flow. The middle shorty, the girl he actually wanted, was like, yo, you a player. He was like, no, I'm not. And then basically, the girl that cheated on him was talking to the girl that thinks he's a player. And then she was like, wait, you were talking to him? And then blah, blah, blah. And then at the park, he almost got smacked. And then Godfrey saved him or something, right?
No. So low key, you did a pretty good job of recapping the story. I'm not gonna lie. You guys are right. I had my fair share. I've definitely had my fair share. There's very little scenarios I have not yet encountered.
Not yet. You know, sometimes I get where your fear comes from, and like doing relationships. Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely do understand, but at the same time, your brain is backwards. Your brain is
No,
really backwards.
I think no. And the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. 80% of the stuff I do back on, I'm playing. I'll keep it a buck. I'm trolling. Like if somebody sat me down, and was like, "Let's be serious." Like I'm be serious here for a second. I am trolling on most about us. About 80% of the stuff that I do say that you guys are like, "This man is crazy." Trolling. When you guys are like, "Oh, you don't like women that want you," that's never the case. There's like an inherent fear, but that's never the case of like women who want me. I don't give them any attention. That's like not the case. I think it's funny. That's why I keep them going with it, right? But I was like, but the same thing.
Inherent fear.
Bro,
There
because
is.
I don't even because
No, see, even when he's trolling, even I always say, I'm like, listen, there's some truth to some jokes. Like people be like, "Oh, you're so funny." I'm not joking. I'm telling
because
you.
I got asked a question yesterday because remember the question came up and then the girl was like, like would you ever approach a woman in public? And I was like, me personally, that's never been my brand. No. Right. And she was like, well, how do you expect to meet anybody if you don't do that? And I was like, well, usually like sometimes you get lucky, someone shows interest in you first, gives you the hints, and then you go from there. And then like the conversation shifted, and she's like, okay, so why do you she's like, okay, so she looked at me, she's like, why are you not in a relationship right now? And I was like, to be honest, I was like, to be honest, I don't know. And she was like, do you ever see yourself like do you think oh this is the question that stopped me. She was like, do you see yourself as worthy of love? And I said, oh.
Woo!
Wait,
It's
wait.
a
I said,
therapy
oh.
session.
You guys had all this conversation the
Bro,
first time meeting?
bro, she trying to fuck you, bro. You already know why. She not asking these questions just to have deep conversations. She trying to fuck you.
The first time meeting?
Exactly,
I'm
bro.
telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like, my thing is like, as a like, you know, when you first meet somebody, you're like awkward and stuff like that. Usually, I try to eliminate that. So when I meet people, I'm just like, just be yourself. Like, we could skip the whole awkward. Just pretend you've known me for a while. I think that's what drive the conversation. But no, she was very, very cool, very talented, very cool individual. But we were like chopping it, and she was like, "Do you see yourself as worthy of love?" And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's the only question I didn't answer. I didn't answer till the night. I thought about it when I got in the Uber, but then I was like, no, I don't. And I think that's where the problem is stemming from, brothers. I
That's
think
kind of sad, dog.
no, and I don't think and I don't say it to like feel sorry for myself, but it's just like I always I'm in the position where I just feel like for you to get anything, you have to earn it. So usually, whenever someone is like usually showing me like decent love and affection, I'm just like, I don't know what I have done to deserve it. So I usually see it as fake.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely get what you mean because it's like I've been at that point. I not had that question asked to me, but I seen it in a video and I thought about it myself, and I'm like, holy, for like I probably say a year ago, I realized that and I worked on that in a sense of believing I have to work for somebody to love me in a sense, but believing that I'm already loved no matter what happens. No matter if somebody believe if like let's say if a woman says don't see me worthy, that shit don't bother me as much as it would like 2 or 3 years ago, in the sense of like I'm already worthy, whether a woman sees it or not. You know what I mean? Because I see that for myself. You know what I mean? That's why I was having this conversation with somebody else too. In a sense, I was like, and because he was like, honestly, because something happened to him with his girl, and then he was like, honestly, I feel like my whole concept of what love is has just been torn apart now. And I was like, honestly, true love really starts with yourself. And once you realize that, you know how to truly seek it in others in a way that's like you feel like you don't have to work for it. Because I feel like that's as men, in a sense, that's what we feel like we have to do. We have to work for somebody to choose us, make us feel worthy. Like in a sense, that is like okay. Thing. But when we get it, even when we get it, sometimes that's why I was like, that's why sometimes it took me aback too. I'm like, you kind of feel weird now, not as much I would do before. You kind of feel weird when a woman, when it gives you so much automatically, so quickly. You're like, what the fuck?
And with me, it's like anything. Like anything. Like I think outside,
Yeah.
I every relationship I've been in outside, like every relationship I've been in outside of like the only 3 women I like have ever felt they gave me stuff and didn't have any expectation back in return was my grandmother, my mom, and my sister. Anybody else outside of that, anything they've ever done is like I feel like you're like when you give it to me, like I either have to work and deserve it or like I owe you something back in return.
Yeah.
So
That's why low key, like, you know, I don't know whether you want to keep this in the edit or not. That's why I always joke around with you in the sense of like, you don't like women who like you back. And I'm being serious because it's like, you know, they're automatically showing you affection and you didn't have to work for it and get it. Versus a woman who might show a little bit of affection, but it's like pull back automatically in a way now it's gone. Now you feel like that ain't got you in a sense of like, you got to work for it now to get it and earn it. You know what I mean? And they're always going to give you little signs here and there to show you like, hey, you know, maybe you are doing a good job. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you keep working for it. It's a constant dumb cycle. Like, you know, but once you can't, it's a stupid cycle, but it's like Sigmund Freud was right in a little bit in a sense, because it's like low key, that's the same psychological relationship you probably had with your mom. I ain't trying to diagnose you, say that's what you had with your mom. Psychologically, like you had to work for affection, you had to earn it in a sense. I'm not, nigga, this nigga, bro.
No, like I hear where you're coming from, but my relationship with my mom, like it wasn't like I don't know where it came from, but my relationship with them, like I've never had to work for anything with them. That's the thing. But that's what I'm saying is I've never had to work for anything with them, but they still showed me all the love and affection and stuff like that. So with them, I always knew that. Oh, like regardless of what, because I've been a bad kid. Like I've had it like a, and my mom's sister, I put her through the ringer, and she's still like it's still like the same way. So I was like, it's like fine, we'll do it. But no, I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So I was like, then she was like, maybe that's something you have to work on. I was like, that is maybe, but no, I did get a lot of clarity. I'm gonna write some. When I watch this episode, I'm gonna take some notes because you know I'm Kwame Brown, but I'm in the lab actively. I'm telling you.
The thing is, you're gonna write it down. You can ignore it. So,
I don't think understand. I'll be taking what you guys take into consideration. It's just like how I'm going about it. I can't tell you guys yet. How I'm going about it, I can't say nothing about it yet. But I'm really taking some positive directions. I will say this.
Quasi, don't feed into it. Don't feed into it. Quasi, stop.
Bro.
So what are you gonna do with this girl?
I sit down, you would think I'm just regular height. Like, you know what I mean? Like, me and you are the same height. So majority of people, I've met some girls, like, so literally, like, conversations switch the second they see how tall I am. I'm not sitting out here saying I'm an ugly nigga. I ain't no pretty boy. I ain't ugly. So I have to say, but so it's like, I've had conversations. I'm sitting out here talking. I stand up. You just see something just change in the eyes, and you're like, and then you get hit with the, how tall are you? I'm like, got him! like automatically, it's like how tall are you? Like, you know what I mean? Quasi, how that feel?
Oh my god!
Proud of yourself?
You know what? You know what I find so funny? I've been friends with him for so long. But this is 2025 is the 1 year I've really conceptualized that he's short. I'm like, I don't know what it is. If he had like a tall person energy or what it is, but it's never like dawned on me that he's short. Right? Like, you know, hear me out. Because you remember the name you said before, right? Like with him, I've always like attributed him like he short. That was the attribute. With Quasi, it's never dawned on me up until recently. But like, real talk, how tall are you?
5'8". No, keep going. There's the new segment. Keep going.
You know what I don't like? Y'all can sit here and give me $150, right? I take it like a champ.
Hey, Quasi, listen, we got all out.
Oh no, I'm not hurt by it. I know my height. I know I ain't growing. I know what I am. I know who I is. This is the first time experiencing this, you know.
But that's what I'm saying is that like you don't like. He's one of those people that you don't realize he is short until somebody points out that he is short.
No,
I know what you mean. It's the same shit with my ears. When once someone sees my ears, they can't let it go. But until they see it, they just think I got regular ass ears.
Bro,
I know what you mean.
Like, I know exactly what you mean, because it's like, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of short men, like, they make themselves small in a room. But Quasi's like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. So you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going about my day.
Yeah, it's like I'm going about my day. I don't give a damn. You know, so that's why I was like, bro, some of the most confident. I've met some men who are like 5'7". They are the most confident in the world. So it's like sometimes I'm like, I'll be forgetting you're like 5'6", bro. But real talk, they move like this somebody who are like 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? So like you've met a lot. You met some lot of short guys. You be like, and you're like, bro, let your balls drop, bitch.
Talking to another,
Let your balls drop. What are you? Why are you
talking to another man like that is
bro? I be saying, I'm like, bro, let your balls drop. What's wrong with you? Like, I don't
No,
even do that.
I feel like
Yes.
to some extent, it's just people be, like if someone's always pointing out like, yo, you're short, you're short, you're short, you're short. Oh my gosh, this is a short. At a certain point, the more someone points it out, the smaller you become. Because then the first thing you think when you're interacting with someone is like, damn, yeah, this person taller than me. And then like the shame of being short, especially with women. If every girl you're going after keeps pointing that out to you, bro, it does damage. That is psychological damage being done to you.
I feel like you gotta be like, I always believe
You
in,
just gotta not care.
You gotta not care.
You just gotta not care,
like
bro.
purposely, you gotta be on some. I don't care. You can tell me that every day. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care. I don't care.
Like, go about your
I'm
day.
move about life how I want to, anyways. I'm sure I don't care. Like, you know,
You
like
can't
the
change
amount of
that
times,
shit,
like
bro.
perfect example. The amount of times it's like, yo, bro, like, you know, you hear this from so many like African people and black people, like, yo, like, you know, you big and black, so you shouldn't be moving like that around white people. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. like straight up, I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna
This
do
nigga
what I
balks
want.
at white people.
I'm like, no, like, you know, like, be like,
No, but I know what you mean.
like, you know what I mean, bro. Like code switching, like that's something I don't do anymore. Or if I catch myself, I try not to do it at all. That doesn't mean I'm out here like, also, what's good, nigga? What's up, bro? How you doing? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I'm like, yo, bro, I'm more like I'm gonna be myself. You know what I mean? So like a lot of you meet like a lot of folks like, yo, bro, you shouldn't do that around. I'm like, bro, I don't care. This ain't Jim Crow. What the hell? What's wrong with
This
you?
shit.
This ain't Jim Crow. era.
Speaking
What
of,
should be about?
I gotta go watch Sinners, bro.
Bro, I'm going tomorrow.
I gotta go watch that.
I'm
We
going-
gotta give a movie review, bro.
I'm going.
We got
I'm going
to.
tomorrow.
Wait,
I'm going tomorrow after I get off work.
I told Marie I'd watch it with her. I told her I'd watch it with her. The last 30 minutes just got cut because we got to clock in.
for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, because we got to clock in on Monday. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great episode. We got some therapeutic stuff in there. I'm hoping that what gets put together actually becomes something fruitful that we can use. But without any further ado, y'all got anything else to close out with?
Love yourself. It is what it is. Quite literally.
God and self love.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.